Hey there everybody, P. Pardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Cover. Today we're going to take a look at a cool little horror book from DC Comics. It's issue number 5 from 1969, The Witching Hour. It's 12 o'clock. The Witching Hour. I want to thank Scott Berry for hooking me up with this. Scott and I did a little swap of things, some music for some comics, and he was kind enough to send me this along with a handful of other cool little nuggets there. So, we love our horror comics here at Comic Book Users, right? So, like I said, this is from 1969. And kind of start off, I'm going to be a little careful with this one. Kind of starts off here with a weird, dark little house. Get a knock at the a knock at the door is coming, but here we've got these two witches and their sister, or stepsisters, I should say. And the two witches look like nasty old witch hags, and the stepsister is looks gorgeous, right? So here we got a knock on the door. She says, "Oh, I'm expecting a visitor." And I'm like, "A visitor? What's going on here?" So of course, the visitor showed up, handsome young guy who has a date with the good-looking half-sister, and he's kind of like, "Well, geez, you had me come out to this creepy place. There's like some kind of creature outside. What am I doing here?" And she's like, "Well, come on in, meet my sisters." And he meets the sisters. He's like, "Oh my God," you know. So, but of course, they want to do a little storytelling, right? The witching hour has arrived. Time for some stories. So now they're going to tell each one of the sisters are going to tell him a story. So I bet you this is not the date he thought he was going to be on, right? So the first story is The Sole Survivor. And of course, this is Bernie writes an art for this particular story. And I think Bernie did the cover here as well. Classic Bernie writes and stuff. So here we got, this is the story. "Welcome aboard, mates. For as long as the ship stays afloat, the crew knows the ship won't weather the storm, but Captain Nathaniel Dandridge refuses to listen. He's ruled his ship with an iron hand, and now he thinks he can rule the sea." So, of course, there's storms are happening, and the sea is tumultuous. And, of course, his crew is telling him, "We need to abandon ship. We need to figure out a way out of this." He's like, "No, we're going to keep going. We're going to go right into the storm. Don't you worry. I'm in charge. Everything's going to be fine," right? So, and then we kind of know where that's all going from there, right? Of course, the sea gets even more torrential. People are flying overboard, but the captain continues to helm the ship. Tyler, quiet. Tyler's getting scared from the story already, apparently. So, and of course, the crew is like wanting to do like a mutiny. They want to take over, but you know, disaster happens, right? So the ship gets crushed. And the captain winds up on, he sees this little island. He swims over to the island. He's wondering if the rest of the crew survived. Doesn't know. He's like, well, this island's got everything. It's got fruits, vegetation, everything. So he sets up camp. He figures, I'll stay here as long as it takes till another ship comes by, and I'll flag down the ship, and everything will be great. So that's what he does. But of course, during the night, he has these dreams, and it's the crew haunting him. So he finally he happens to see a ship out in sea. So he goes up on top of this little mountain, and he starts a fire. They see him. He's rescued, yes. So they come on land. He introduces himself to them, and they go to arrest him. So they're like, you are. I'll tell you exactly what they say. It says, it's like, "Captain Dandridge of the ocean ship cast up. Be safe, be safe. Then if ye be Captain Dandridge, ye'd also be under arrest for the deliberate loss of your ship and your men." He goes, "What? Are you daft, man? Where did you hear these things?" "From the only other survivor of your ship sinking aboard your longboat." "Where is she?" "She's gone, sir. Find her. You men, come with me. We must find that woman." Meanwhile, I'm thinking, woman? I don't remember seeing any woman. "Here are her prints, sir. You can't have gone far. Oh, I didn't see her step from the boat, nor I. Enough chatter. Hurry." So they're trying to find this woman who came aboard with them. And they finally do see her in the sand, and they're like, is it possible? She's made of wood. So basically, she was the wooden lady at the front of the ship, the bowsprit of the Ocean Queen. But it is her, the woman who led us to him. 'Tis she, and how in the name of Providence I dare you, but she is she. Let them wonder, my hearties, let them wonder. We know how it happened. we know who the real sole survivor is. So apparently, so she was the survivor of the ship, the only one. Was she alive? Don't know. Apparently she took the form of a woman, right? But really she is not. So that's how this one ends, right? So he's going to prison because of the words of the wooden lady at the front of the ship. All right, the next story being told to our hapless young man is called A Guy Can Die Laughing. So here's the story of this hapless clown who was employed at this club, and after many years of popularity, now all of a sudden he can't make anybody laugh anymore. People come, people go, nobody laughs. Why won't you laugh? Why are you all stone statues? Laugh, laugh, blast it, laugh. And of course the head of the club is like, you know, I don't know how much longer I can keep paying you if people are coming here and nobody's having a good time, nobody's laughing. So he's like all depressed. He winds up going to this like thrift shop, and he finds like this this other like kind of like costume, right? So let's see, what does it say here? Created by the sorcerer Santos for the court jester to bring everlasting laughter to the cruel King Richard in the year such and such. He goes, okay, I've read enough. If it's true, I could become the funniest clown of the century. But what does he do? He goes and steals it. And then the shopmaster goes to stop him, and what does he do? He kills him. I don't think he really means to, but he kills him, and he runs out of the store with the new costume, right? This jester outfit that he stole that apparently goes back to the ancient days. And then he goes back to work, and now all of a sudden, everybody's laughing at everything he does. And the head of the club is all excited because he's like, oh, the money's rolling in. He goes, people are coming to see you. They love you. He goes, I may have to give you a raise. So then what does he do? Here we got a little, remember the Saturday morning cartoon schedule? Well, that's what it was looking like in 1969, right? Cool stuff there. So then he goes to take off his costume, and he realizes it won't come off. He's trying to cut it off. It won't cut. The scissors won't do anything. So he's like, ah, screw it. I'll just leave it on. I don't know what's up with this. I can't take it off. I'll just leave it on. So then he walks out into the street. He's kind of walking around town. People are walking up to him, laughing at him everywhere. Everybody thinks he's a joke. So he's like, shut up. Stop following me. Stop laughing at me. He goes, shut up, shut up. I can't stand it anymore. People are chasing him around, laughing at him everywhere. All of a sudden, he's like, what is the deal with this? So then, of course, he goes, it can't be. He goes back to the store to read a little thing on the legend of the, you know, this little legend, little plaque that talked about the suit in the store. Why would he go back to the scene of the crime? I don't know. And he goes, the Funny Farm people came for him, and this day, so he basically, after he read it, he was going nuts, and he went crazy, and they took him away to an asylum. So I know I shouldn't be laughing at patients, but for some reason this guy just breaks me up, and they're even in the Funny Farm, they're laughing at him. So then, of course, one of the sisters talks about, if Alfie had taken the time to read the entire legend, he would not have been so anxious to wear that costume. Wonder what will happen when Alfie dies. So it says, however, the sorcerer Santos cast a spell on the costume, making it impossible to remove or cover it until its wearer died. That's the end of that story. So that's the last page there. Okay. So that didn't turn out so well, obviously. So here we have the new computer game. It's the last story. So here we have a couple of young couples out on a date, and then one of them disappears, and the other's left. Oh, what happened? What happened to my date? They're gone, right? So it's called the computer game. So then we fast forward to the Andover computer dating service. So apparently you got this guy who's got this giant computer, and basically what this does is it puts people together, right, to send them out on dates. All right, but they're getting all these complaints of customers who go out on dates and the dates disappear. So something's wrong. So they're like, oh, we got to fix it. I don't know what this computer seems got a life of its own. We need to figure something out. Meanwhile, the computer's talking back to him, okay, saying, you know, have you ever thought about power? Through my illusions, I'm learning how to control men. And if I continue my experiments, someday you and I can control the world. So he's like, this can't be. I can't let a computer talk to me like this. I'm going to destroy the computer. Computer's like, put that chair down. I'm warning you. Put it down. No, I should have destroyed you years ago. Okay, so here he goes to try and destroy the computer. But the computer talks back to him and says, you are a stupid man. Don't you know that if I created all of these people who are going out on dates, and if I can make them disappear, I can make you disappear as well. And basically, then the guy, the company owner, basically he disappears as well. So he was just a made-up creation in addition to some of these dates as well. So he disappears also. So from there, and that was of course the story that the sexy sister told him. So she says, kind of scary, isn't it? I mean, the way the guy thought he was human sort of makes me wonder if maybe I'm only an illusion. How about you? So he goes, my God, you too? What's wrong, Terry? Don't you think my tale's better than theirs? Too much. I can't take any more of this. I never realized you were that kind of girl, Cynthia. I'm getting out of here. I shouldn't have come here in the first place. And then the one hag sister says, haha, like I said, no backbone. The other says, I'll admit, Cynthia, that you've at least proved you have potential to be a true witch, even though a fairy tale would have frightened him. And then the creature outside, whose name is Igor. Igor, let him lower his own drawbridge. Our readers will leave later. I want him to suffer the swamp alone. And you, readers, don't you agree my tale deserved better than that? The nerve of him walking out. It's up to you then. You're the final judge. Decide whose tale was the best. But remember, hell hath no fury like witches scorned. The end. All right, so in the end, her date leaves. Whether he survives the property and the moat and all that, nobody knows. Which story do you think is the spookiest out of all those, right? So, yeah. And, of course, lots of couple different ads for the Army men, right? Revolutionary War soldiers. And on the back, we got the monsters are back and they glow in the dark from Aurora. Yeah, I had a bunch of these when I was a kid. I had, I definitely had the Mummy. I had Dracula. I had the Hunchback of Notre Dame, although they don't mention him on here. I believe I had the Wolfman. I don't know if I had the Phantom of the Opera. I had a whole bunch of these Aurora figures. I had Godzilla, I had King Kong, a whole bunch of stuff. I was a big Aurora model kit collector. And, yeah, very cool stuff. Going way back, way back. So, yeah, that's our look at, it's 12 o'clock, The Witching Hour, issue number 5 from 1969. For all you DC fans, let us know if you've ever read this particular one and what you think. And if not, it might be, if you don't have it, it might be something you want to pick up out there in the wild. So thanks for joining me on this latest edition of Inside the Cover from Comic Book Geezers. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And down below, you got the link to the Sea of Tranquility merch page where you can get a Comic Book Geezers t-shirt or coffee mug. So thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in real soon for more stuff. I am P. Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.